What is critical appreciation of literature? What is the nature of the experience of literature? How does it feel? What were the ideas of T.S. Eliot on this matter? Is it possible to use the ideas of T.S. Eliot to guide you in this matter? These are the things which we shall discuss today. T.S. Eliot was a diligent student of literature, especially Elizabethan literature and Jacobean literature. As a young man, he came across, during his studies, the Revenger's tragedy and immediately became fascinated by it. The Revenger's tragedy is a Jacobean revenge play. It was long attributed to Cyril Tourneur, but now mainstream research, mainstream scholarship tends to attribute it to Thomas Middleton. There are a couple of lines in the work which captivated T.S. Eliot and became a sort of obsession with him. The lines go, I quote, "Our lordships sold to maintain ladyships for the poor benefit of a bewildering minute," unquote. The passage was generally ignored by readers and critics until T.S. Eliot started taking an interest in it. Eliot refers to this passage in his essay on Turner and also in his book After Strange Gods. In 1966, T.S. Eliot wrote a letter to Stephen Spender in which he said, I quote from memory, "Even just the bewildering minute counts. You have to give yourself up and then recover yourself. And the third moment is having something to say," unquote. I think I should repeat this beautiful passage. Even just the bewildering minute counts. You have to give yourself up and then recover yourself. And the third moment is having something to say. I would say that T.S. Eliot's use of the metaphor of sexual union to represent the experience of literature is characteristically brilliant. No other metaphor could have succeeded in capturing so fully, so completely the nature of the experience. The experience of literature has to be a union, a merger, an integration. And as suggested by the metaphor. The union is, of course, physical, emotional, mental, intellectual, spiritual, even mystic. It is sometimes said that this experience is a foretaste of divine bliss, is the closest we can come in this world to divine bliss. The reader has to identify himself completely with the work, merge himself absolutely with the work, unite himself unconditionally with the work. That is how literature has to be experienced. The question arises, why bewildering minutes? Why did the author, be it Turner, be it Middleton, qualify the minute as bewildering, as baffling, as confusing? How is it that this epithet, bewildering, is perfectly applicable to the experience of literature from the perspective of T.S. Eliot? Bewildering because it's an experience beyond articulation. It's an experience which cannot be fully described in words. It is blissful. It is divine. It is something which has no parallels, but still it is something which cannot be accurately captured through words. It is bewildering. When you're asked to explain what it was like, you cannot give a satisfactory answer. Please note that T.S. Eliot works out a three-stage analysis of the experience of the critical appreciation of literature. In the first stage, you give yourself up unquestioningly, absolutely, unconditionally. In the second stage, you recover yourself. In the last stage, you have something to say. Kindly note that the union, the merger, the integration is not eternal. It does not last forever. You have to free yourself completely from the entanglement of the experience. And after that, you must have something to say. And hopefully, that something will be something significant. I would like to quote one more sentence from the remarkable letter that T.S. Eliot wrote to Stephen Spender in 1966. This is what Eliot says, I quote, "Of course, the self recovered is never the same as the self before it was given." Unquote. I think I should repeat it. Of course, the self recovered is never the same as the self before it was given. This sentence throws light on the extraordinary power of literature to change those who come into contact with it. The experience of literature has something in it which cannot be described fully in words. It transforms human beings. It changes human beings. It makes them what they were not before. The reader, before reading The Wasteland, for example, is one person. After reading The Wasteland, he becomes another person. I have had innumerable experiences like this. The experience of literature is a life changing experience, is a life transforming experience.